Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, yet again analyzing another police video. Guys, if you want to look this one up yourself, you can look it with this title. You'll find it soon enough in YouTube. I'm not going to be showing any of the graphic stuff because it's pointless. Just a little bit of blood makes no sense. And if I do that, YouTube will bring my video down. I'm having enough problems with YouTube as it is, and it's pointless to show that. Get the video pulled when I really want to talk about all of the other stuff that we can actually learn from, okay? A lot of this stuff that you'll see in this video, from self-defense, breaching, a lot of that stuff is covered in Street Survival Skills, my book with the practical aspect of survival and preparedness. It's there for a reason because you see it right here in the real world. So, one of the things I like about analyzing these videos is that sometimes you see a pattern, you see how things end up going down, and you can really learn a lot from that and prepare accordingly. But always, the unexpected. Every once in a while, even a typical, domestic violence situation like this one ends up unfolding in unexpected manners. You have 3 officers responding to a case of domestic violence, a woman, her adult son. The officer responds, and this is what we see.
The front and the back door lock were unable to get into the residence. She's still on the line.
That's correct. We're trying to get one of them to come out. Every time she tries to go to the door, he's pushing her on the bed.
So, the woman wants to open the door. Her son, drugs, crazy, we don't know. We just know that this woman is at risk, and her son is not letting her open the door.
And it's only her and him in the house.
Any animals?
Any animals? Smart cop. He's asking if there's any dogs in there. Why? Because he knows it can go south very fast. If there's somewhat of a medium or large dog, even a medium dog, depending on the specific breed, they can rip your face off. So he's detaining a suspect that is not cooperating, and all of a sudden he has a dog in his neck. So he asks about the dog. Keep this in mind. Goes both ways. For a prepper, a survivalist, this is yet another layer of protection for us.
Stand by. No pets.
No pets. Okay.
4. David 2 to 543. We go to breach then.
So he has to breach. Again, this stuff, there's a dedicated chapter in my book, in Street Survival Skills, about breaching. Because you just don't know. It's not just for a cop. If there's a loved one, family members, the house is on fire, you have to break down a door, you probably want to have some idea of how to do that.
That we're going to be breaching the door if one of them doesn't come down the door, please.
So he goes to his back of six.
No.
He's bringing out a Halligan bar, the one that firemen use for breaching. There's different techniques. It's quite interesting. You can look it up online. Different techniques on how to use it. The Halligan bar, right? Is it? Yeah. Spike on one end, prying tool on the other, and he just goes to work with that. Now, was that super necessary? Probably not. Look at how thin the door was. The door just opened up in just the first blow. Look at this. This is all that was keeping that door closed. With the basic technique of kicking down the door close to the doorknob that I explained in my book, that would have broken just as well, especially with the weight of somewhat larger guys and added gear on top of them, body armor and so on. That would give him enough mass just to kick that door down very easily. But you have the body.
County police! County police!
He goes in. What is it that we see? Of course, a Glock pistol, which is perfect, common sense. We also see that he has sights that are not your typical Glock sights. These are more of the, the defensive type of sights. Difference that you learn when you take classes or when you read books like my book. You want to change the sights for something that is metal and something that's square. That's going to be allowing you to do some of the basic techniques of single-handed, clearing malfunctions or putting a round in the chamber, all of those things. You do not learn that in just sport shooting, in practical shooting. You don't practice any of that because it can be very dangerous, and there's no point for that in sport. Now, for self-defense, you do want to learn those techniques and practice those every once in a while. And the tactical light, again, just makes sense. You have your hand with firearms and the lights, and the other one is needed for opening doors, for keeping people away, pushing people, punching, moving people, all of that because of the tactical light. That is very useful too.
Get on the ground!
So he goes up there, he sees the guy,
Get on the ground right now!
He already saw his bare chest. You know, he's clearly showing his hands. He hasn't got a weapon. I mean, he could have something in his pants or whatnot, but usually that gives you a little bit more of peace of mind. You see that the hands are empty, okay?
Don't move! Don't.
Now he gets up.
You're gonna get tased. Get on the ground right now! Get on the ground! Come on now! Come on.
They get the woman out of the room. Perfect. Now he goes out swinging. He just doesn't give a damn. He's just going out punching against 3 cops that have guns, tasers, and he's almost naked. Does not care. Taser fails, of course, as expected. Now the officer is using very basic physics. The guy is about his size, or give or take, maybe a little bit smaller, and the officer, with his weight alone plus his gear, just putting your weight on him, unless he has some respectable skills in ground fighting, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, he's not gonna be pushing the guy away or doing much at all. So this would be a situation where you'd say, yeah, he's being restrained. We have 3 cops armed. The guy hasn't got a knife, a gun, so we're good, right? No, wrong.
I'm getting a skip. Are you okay?
Where's my unit? 13.
I want to do the weight of the person alone, just sitting on top of someone, that usually turns out quite effective. Unless there's a huge body weight difference, it can be quite effective. Of course, drugs, mental state, and so on, adrenaline, all of that can give a person a lot more strength than expected. But then...
Stop playing! Goddamn! Get him by my fucking finger off! Dude, shoot that motherfucker! Shoot him! God! No! God damn!
He was biting the guy's finger off. He was biting his finger off. At one moment, he had him restrained in the floor, but in just a moment, he went for it, bit him in the finger, and he was biting the finger off. The human mouth is more than capable, has more than enough strength to rip off another man's finger, and that's what he was doing. Now, if you read the headlines, 3 officers shoot unarmed African American in his own bedroom. Well, what about the context? The context was that he was ripping off this man's finger, and the taser was not working, and the only option left was actually shooting him, because if not, the officer loses that finger. So that's that's the moment in which unexpectedly things go just south, and there's no other option other than using lethal force, and it's perfectly understandable that there was no other option left. Now, I want to end this with something here that we see from the female officer that reacts in a, in an unfortunate manner.
I don't have a condom.
Stop playing! Goddamn! You get him by my fucking finger off!
Taser doesn't work, so she goes for her handgun. She goes for her Glock. He says, shoot him. He shouts out, shoot him. So she brings out her handgun, right?
Here,
Move.
Move. I can't.
I can't. She says, I can't. And she just walks away from the situation. That is unfortunate. That is not what you want your partner to do when your life is on the line, when your finger is on the line, when your physical integrity basically is on the line. She says it very clearly. This is unconscious even. I cannot do it. And she walks away. The other officer, though, the other officer does it. The other officer knows that his partner is counting on him, because if not, he's going to be losing a finger.
Move, I can't. One shot.
She could not do it, guys. It was just not in her. So the lesson here is, besides everything that we just saw, you just don't know how people react in times of crisis. So this is a channel about survival, preparedness. You prepare for life in general. These things happen, as you just saw, as of right now, all the time. Now, as things keep evolving or escalating or deteriorating socially, you'll see a lot more of these things, and you want to know who you can count on or not. And there's really no way of knowing until that moment comes. Now, I can also tell you that you kind of get a feel for people, and you see who is more, solid, who has a stronger mindset, who is probably more dependable in other things as well, and who is a little bit more fragile or less, less solid emotionally speaking in terms of mental and emotional fortitude, which is what you want in these cases. You don't need Superman. You don't need a boxing champion. You don't need a shooting champion. You don't need, Captain freaking America. No, you need someone that pulls the trigger when you ask him to do that, because you are in danger. You are about to lose your life. You're about to lose your finger, or whatever body part that is. You want something that you can count on in a moment of very high stress. That woman just failed that test. Now, her partner, yeah, he did what was needed. But does it mean that she's going to be always reacting the same way? I don't know. You just can tell. But she failed this one, and that's pretty unfortunate.
What does he need? Shoot him again.
Shoot him again. She's, darling, so, it's already done. But the moment that I can't and you just walk away, that's a bad sign. Anyway, folks, lessons here, stuff to keep in mind, things for us to take into account so as to prepare as best as we can. Remember, you have my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, Street Survival Skill, Surviving the Economic Collapse for the economic aspect of survival and preparedness, so as to be ready and prepare for what you're kind of seeing all over the world basically right now. See you on our next video. Take care.